Welcome! In this series of videos, we will look at the design of systems using the PowerBasic, Windows and console compilers. Today we will look at software interfaces and how not to break them. When developing an application, your source code will likely be spread among several or many code files. Some of these will be library files comprising common routines you have used before, and some will be unique to this application. You may well have dynamic libraries external to your main binary and even separate utility executables called from within your main binary. This mass of source code could have been developed and tested by a group of people, or it could be all of your own work. Either way, your software will be made out of discrete parts, similar to the construction of a new building. Some of these parts you may have used many times before and then pieced them together like a jigsaw. For example, when building a new house, the windows and doors are usually off-the-shelf components, and very rarely will they be designed from the ground up for your new house. Creating software is no different. When designing a new application, regardless of its purpose, the first stage would be to work out what the application's purpose is. What should it do? At this design stage, this investigation will guide you to identify which common libraries you have already written that can be reused within this new application. Code reuse is an important principle of software development, which greatly speeds up the time it takes to complete development. Also, when writing brand new code for your application, it's worth spending a little time thinking, could this new code be reused in future applications? If so, then make time to add the code to a common library to support future reuse. There are various types of software interface, ranging from those inside your own application to external systems such as databases, web servers, file servers. Changes to these interfaces need to be looked at carefully to avoid breaking other applications already making use of this code. Often forgotten is the interface between the application and the user. It's important when multiple developers are working on the same application that two areas of the application do not operate in radically different ways. As from a user's perspective, users don't look favorably on an application when the look and feel of one part doesn't match other parts. The interface between two functions in your code is like a jigsaw piece. They have to fit. For example, the myCode function needs to make a call to the library function. myCode can provide two parameters, but needs one parameter coming back from the library to provide the data it needs. The two functions' parameters must match precisely for this to happen, just like the two jigsaw pieces fitting together. Should you or one of your colleagues decide at some point later to amend the library function's parameters, then future recompiles are at risk. For example, adding an extra output parameter in the library function would break the interface between these two functions. And any attempt to compile your application would fail. So how can we avoid this kind of thing happening? There are 3 points to consider. Prevention is better than cure. Fixing the problem before it happens is the best approach. Early detection. Once it has happened, knowing as soon as it's happened allows you to actually give time to fixing the problem. Testing everything that's changed in your application as well as those parts of the application which you don't think have changed. beta testers. It's important to have people other than the developers testing the software before it goes on general release. Before making any amendment to existing functions or subroutines, think it through. Will the change give a measurable benefit to your application? If you're part of a development team, talk it through with them. Making changes to common code may extend the scope of your testing. Find where the function you're changing is used in your application, and all applications that make use of it. The Find File application we developed in the PowerBasic Windows compiler tutorials, parts 15 and 16, on the 17th and 23rd of November 2020, is an ideal tool to search out where functions have been used. For example, looking to see where the Append to File common function has been referenced shows that any change made to it would impact a large number of applications. This search tool could be used to provide a to-do list of applications to recompile and test. Having all your source code somewhere that the whole development team can access is a must. This could be as simple as a shared network folder, or preferably a version management system. To determine early on if an amendment to a common library would cause compilation issues with other applications, you could use continuous integration. We covered this in the videos on the 15th and the 22nd of August 2020 for command line compilation of PowerBasic applications. Running this process daily would give you early warning of any issues in compiling applications with common libraries. Testing what has changed seems obvious, but you need to know which parts of your application have actually changed, as opposed to the parts that were meant to have changed. This is especially true with larger development teams. A good version management system will tell you the source code changes between any two builds. Regression testing is where you test the areas of the application that should not have changed, and is vital to ensure that areas of the application you didn't plan on changing still work as expected. Where you can automate your testing, do so. Anything to speed up the test phase. Releasing your application to a limited number of users who are not part of the development team is a tried and tested strategy to capture information on possible issues. Expecting feedback from them on things that just don't work or don't work as well as they should is good news. Rather that than a major release so bad that it drives all your customers away. If changes are needed, run through the full cycle again. Hopefully, all of this will help smooth your development path. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching.